The Dragonfly. The Dragonfly is the subject of our talk today. Deep breath. Clearing to focus. Okay. So I did a little differently today in that I asked for the card direction first. And so what came up was the Dragonfly, all about magic, spontaneity, and change. And I think the reason that it came up for today was because I'm going to a convention in a little while. And I don't normally go to conventions, and partly because it's just overwhelming. So much mind chatter happens. And so it's more about, in the past, it's been more about receding for me instead of engaging. And so I haven't gone to something like this in a long time. I'm specifically going for a keynote speaker that I have been following for over 20 years. And she's now here in LA, and I paid for a VIP ticket to go see her because I want to honor her impact in the global consciousness as well as in my life. And so in my preparation for, my personal preparation for going to the convention, I wanted to be very mindful about creating a change in how I want to perceive, engage, and observe myself in the convention. Because I'm not just going for the keynote speaking, which I could do, and that would be very easy. Too easy. So for my personal challenges, I'm actually going to walk around the convention prior to the lecture and do things differently. And so in looking at this card, I'm like, okay, well, this is about synchronicity, right? So part of the reasons that I use the cards, that other people use the cards, well, I'll talk about myself because everybody has their purpose. The reason I use my cards is partly to invite synchronicity. I want, partly, I'm looking for support. I've already made the decision, so I'm looking for the support, right? Or any fine-tuning of the decision that I need to pay attention to. I don't know that I ever look at the cards. I don't know that I could say that. I was going to say, I don't know if I ever look at the cards without having an intent and just follow what they say, which would be a different kind of challenge. Usually, I think I prefer to have already a need, want, decision made, and then get the nuances, support from the cards. So in looking at the basic nature of a dragonfly, it is quite stealth. It's iridescent. If we look really closely, it shimmers, and it goes in multiple directions. It's really quite fascinating as far as its dynamics of shifting and changing and stopping, and can hover over water and seemingly coming out of nowhere. Unless you're like at a place where there's a pond and things like that. And often, we often find them near flowers in the water. However, I have a pool, and I'm seeing dragonflies all the time. I don't have any flowers in the pool. I don't really have much flowers around the pool. So it's interesting. And so in reading up about the dragonfly, because that's its natural habit, right? In reading up about the dragonfly, they do carry a sense of allowance for directional change. I think we would, what I heard when I was thinking about the directional change was, we would consider that ADD and ADHD, and problematic, right, in the human realm. However, when we look at it in the nature's realm, we don't have the same perceptions. Isn't that interesting? So it's a balance of how do you allow for the quick shifts and changes, because they do happen, right? So you can go in one direction thinking that that's because you're following a lead, and then something shifts and you're maybe asked to follow another lead. And so we have this conundrum. Well, am I not focusing? Am I being distractive? Am I... Do you think a dragonfly asks that? Am I being distracted because I'm going here and there and here and there and up and down and da, 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 da? No. Its general purpose is for nourishment. Its general purpose is to find its source, be with its source. Right? So I think that's the interpretation I'm understanding about the Dragonfly card for today. And then symbolism and synchronicity. So they do definitely work hand in hand, and it's pretty cool to find how things line up in the story of synchronicity topic. You know, you can, if you're not sure about synchronicity in your day-to-day life, that's something that's really cool to look at. Although an exercise and a challenge would be to go back in your past and look at the synchronicity of how things had to line up for something, for it to go well. And we'll look at it on the positive side. So for something that went really well in your life, the synchronicity of your life, if you allowed yourself to follow it, and how it produced a positive outcome. Example, so defected to this country, parents were told to put us in show business and dance, so we did that. That created our community. The dance commercials and led us to needing to teach at the school in lieu of income payment for the lessons. So my mother taught dance because that was her background. So she taught dance in lieu of our income, and she made costumes because she was fabulous at it. And then it came to our desire, or my desire. Well, actually, I just think I was thrown into it. I think I was just thrown. Yeah, I was. I was thrown into teaching dance, and I was 13, and so I started teaching dance. So what that did for me, more than anything else, was, one, it fed the teacher in me, because I have a huge teacher archetype. I love teaching and explaining how to do things. But also what it did for me is it allowed me to spend time, and of course at 13 I didn't know this was happening, right? Spend time noticing the body, seeing what it needs as a dancer to go from I can't do that to I can do that, and the steps that it takes to get there. Body awareness, seeing through the body to see how the muscles work. I didn't know the names of muscles at all, right? So it was given to me, and I listened to it. Again, the courage, I don't know. It just happens. And so from the dance, and then I went into teaching aerobics, which I learned more physiology, and then I went into the massage and anatomy, and and then I went to body mind, and boom, right? So then it continued. So it gives me the interesting perspective on seeing the body, and I can see the body like this. I can see patterns and how tissues are pulling, and the bones and the shifts, and so I got to trust my anatomy and my recognition of anatomy very, very early. So that becomes my stabilization in the intuitive stuff. Is I can pick it out no problem and trust it, because I've had the pattern of trusting, and so I can layer other systems on top of it because I have a really great foundation of knowing the body. So that's an example of synchronicity in a lifelong pattern, right? So you may you may, in your challenge, you may look at it how a job was created in that way, and somebody said something to that, and that led you go to there, and there led you go to there, and then you did that, and then whatever, right? Or another synchronicity was I went on a kind of forced vacation, because I don't usually take vacations. I certainly hadn't in the past. Up to Sedona, and ended up meeting my husband. Forced vacation, met my husband, boom, done. 25 years later, we're still together, and a huge mystery in most people's lives of how we have our relationship, and we'll go into that another time. So those are examples of synchronicity. Would love for you to challenge yourself and find how something in your life was set up in that manner. Symbolism's a little different. Maybe we'll go into that a little bit another time. But check it out. Synchronicity is really cool. And if you can allow yourself to find those little things, they happen all day long. It's so cool. All day long. And your dreams are more like some symbolisms, right? Although picking the card is a little bit of symbolism of the nature of a dragonfly. So it's a little bit of a cross thing, and I still have to listen to more guidance about that. However, so go enjoy the magic of synchronicity. And, write some things down, and then, backtrack and see how... It's almost like a flow chart, right? It's like a spiritual flow chart. You go, this led to this, led to this, led to this. And it's pretty fun. So I wish you much empowerment, enjoy, and I will report back on possibly the observations of today. Should I be guided to do so? Likely I'll have some interesting tidbits for you. Be well.